Hey.
Nah. I think Speedy does it best. So, easy. Roll Speedy one last time with the AAAs. Hey.
Yeah!
Hey, you love the sound effects,
That's my side.
Now we're back. Let's get to it.
Yeah. What up, gentlemen?
What's up, man?
We're back in person. Level 2 is unlocking us nicely.
And VG2 is unlocking us nicely.
I mean, we've been begging to come to his court for a long time. So
Thank
clearly,
you so much,
level
man.
2 had to happen.
Thank you so much. It's a beautiful home, my brother.
Thank you.
And just someone who's involved in hip hop has done so well for himself. And I mean, when you're not even an artist, you're a DJ, you know?
Yeah.
And of course, you dabbled with so many other things, but to see someone involved in the culture who knows what to do with their money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's beautiful, my nigga. Like, shout outs to you and your wife.
Thank
Your
you,
kids are being raised well.
Yeah.
Softly, as they would say.
So soft. You saw those 3 kids living their best life.
And my kids must be like Miss Cosmo out here, but we are not kings.
I mean,
You
come on.
So that's beautiful, man. No doubt.
Oh, very beautiful, very beautiful. What? Another thing that was beautiful this past weekend was it's August, but there was also a hell of a lot of hip hop drops.
Yes.
Fair too. The music came with the fire.
Yes.
So let's start off with you.
Oh wow, that wasn't where I was going with this.
I think let's start off with you.
Why?
Right? Let's start off with you. How was your drop? How did it go? An amazing song, by the way.
Thank you.
And how did the collaboration come about, etc., you know?
Thank you so much, VG. The song was a bit of a blessing in disguise. It was one of those things that kind of just happened where we wanted to kind of put the song out and we were wondering about timing and such. I've worked with Shoma Josie before, so we've obviously got like a post-relationship from ABB. And
you can't just say Shoma Josie, she's the BET winning.
BET
Shoma Josie.
Internationally signed.
You understand?
Shoma Josie.
You understand?
Limpopo's champion. Okay? You know what I mean? Put some respect on her
I forgot about the signing.
Epic Records.
Come on, it's epic.
Epic Records out here. So
Sure.
I'm not just dealing with a feature and JJ.
Yeah.
This is an international feature.
And for her to go, yeah, girl, you know, I'll do it for you. I think that's dope.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Shoma Josie with this track, she had the verse for some time.
Yeah.
And I think for her, she also just wanted to kind of see how she was going to manage actually working out the verse. She hit me up. She's like, yo, let's do another collabo. And obviously then everything, all the other pieces started coming together.
Yeah.
Lady CWCB has always been somebody that I wanted to work with. I first heard her actually on DJ Savvy's song. And I was like blown away by her voice. Her voice is so like thick and strong. Like you can just hear Guti Ntombi Zulu that's coming through here. So very blessed to have her on the chorus. She comes through with such fire and she carries the song so well. And of course, D Koala as well. She had to come in with the second verse and she also just blew it out the park. And I just want to give a shout out as well to D Koala because she also recorded that verse in a very stringent time in her life. As mentioned in a previous episode, she had lost a lot of people in her family. She had lost her she also lost her great-grandmother. She lost 2 of her aunts. So it's been a very like up and down
tumultuous time for
her. But she was still focused enough to record the verse for me. So a big shout out to Dee for that. I really appreciate it.
It's like Nanya sister.
And yeah, the song came together so well. And we pushed and we made sure that it was out now in August because Women's Month.
Yes.
So let's do it because Sibanengi.
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 Yes.
I like that one.
One thing I picked up as soon as I heard like the vocals, I think it catches your attention. That's how powerful it is, you know?
Yeah.
And like, as Nota says, maybe we're gassing up people, but I'm gonna gas that song up.
Yeah.
Right? It is dope. Without a doubt. And it's fact. Right? And I think, you know, something we also didn't like point out the other time was Shoma Josie, I think it was Sylvia Rowan is the person, she's the exec for Epic Record. She's actually probably the most powerful black female record executive that I know.
Wow.
Right? And she actually even spoke about Shoma Josie, you know, which is a shout out for her, you know. And obviously with D Koala laying on vocals, which is dope. You know, and Miss Cosmo. I also heard you, Cosmo.
Is she rapping or singing?
Singing, Cosmo.
She's singing. But it's not the first time she sang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about other artists before they say we're using this platform to push ourselves. I want to talk about we didn't talk about it last time because myself and VG got so engrossed.
Woo, I'm
in the
actually
talks.
shocked that they're sitting here. That's
Yeah.
why I came in the middle, because I was like, before.
No, but
No, let me
Let me be the mediator.
Yeah. And that's what also I want to talk about. It's like, obviously, I think, Noni, you're going to have to be a mediator going forward. I think it's depending on whether, because sometimes I'll be the mediator, sometimes
Exactly.
Vij will be a mediator. But on careful, not consideration, but on when Indo yake yahlala after the episode went out, and as I was coming here today, I was like, wow, man, I'm so glad that I can do a show with people that I can be myself with, and they can be themselves.
Yeah.
And that thing can easily, it's not something we have to move away from. It's not something we have to get over. It's just what it was.
Yeah.
But it doesn't draw out and outline and encapsulate what our relationship is. And that's very rare. And for me as a person, I know you guys don't think we're getting deep, but we are. It's very liberating to be able to get to a space or to be able to get around someone and totally be yourself without fear of judgment. And I think to have a space like that in these times, you have no idea how beautiful that is. And to call it work, because it's not only benefiting us, but it's benefiting other people as well. People are going to look at that and be like, a lot of people trip when their friendship or the confrontations become what they should be.
Yeah.
They trip over that. They don't know how to deal with someone being extreme to them and yet still love them and respect them. And I think beyond anything, beyond being right or wrong or coming from different views, to be able to display that to the youth was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I really, really love that. And I had respect for you a lot, but now I really have a deep love and such a warmth towards you, because like it's very rare that I can be that part of myself to people without them holding it against me. And I love you for that, my nigga.
Don't
Like,
worry, man.
thank you so much.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pull in Dugza out there.
In case you need a reminder. Scoop.
One thing, Scoop, I'll say. You genuine. Some things you mean it, you genuine. And even after, we can call each other and correct ourselves, which is dope. And obviously, Miss Cosmo being Miss Cosmo, calling us and saying, yo, guys, are you guys fine? Are you guys, And that's what I love her for. So we're a team,
And we also, like, when we started the show, we were doing it for the culture. But I didn't know I could get so deeply involved as a team. You know what I mean? It just felt like we were coming from our separate areas. But as we are growing, I do feel us getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And maybe we should have mixed the glass for Speedy and just put up an empty tin, just put it here. But yeah, let's get back to the music. Last week, before we got caught up in that talk, we neglected to talk about Rhys, man. And I think like it was a big thing for me because I seldom listen to songs when they come out, but obviously I went to go listen to that one because he's been quiet for so long, and I really wanted to find out where he's at with it. I love that song, Ayanda Chia, and I think obviously Rhys is at best when he's introspective and stuff. And yeah, I was really impressed, and just to hear him, I feel like he's obviously gone through a lot of growth. I feel like he's the title of the track itself, Residual Self-Image, is like it's self-explanatory to what maybe is happening in his life and how he came across. So I'm really proud of him for the personal growth. Not a line, not a rhyme was wasted in that imagery and him putting himself out there. And like I said, Ayanda Chip, does she have a solo album?
She does. And I was actually going to comment on that.
I understand.
I think so.
I understand.
I was actually going to comment on that as well, as that with Rhys, I think a lot of people have also kind of put him in this rap box. And I like the fact that he was able to jump out of it by getting a feature like Ayanda Chia, which was completely weird. Well, not necessarily weird, but like not necessarily in the box that we would put him in. And I appreciated that because it also kind of shows that he's not just a rapper, he's also a musician. And he thinks further than just the music. He thinks further than himself. For him to get an Ayanda Chia who on her music as well just blows me away. She's also one person I still want to work with in time when that opportunity gets there. But I liked that he called her up to say, I need someone to be able to portray me in this song within that feature that she had. So I like the fact that he's growing in that sense and thinking outside of just him and his boys, because there was a point where I felt there was a lot of just him and the boys.
Sure.
And now it's like, okay, Rhys, the musician, is coming out.
Yeah.
Hence, Ayanda was on the feature, and I loved it.
Yeah. I know. Sebenzi, Vich.
I think most when I bumped the joint and going back to the Ayanda thing, I think they have done a collab previously. I think it was on Ayanda's single. I think it was Ayanda's single that she ran with last year, 2019. I think beginning of 2019 or late 2018. So I think they've always had that relationship, which is dope. But also when I bumped the joint, you know, for me, I was like, yo, like Rhys is making music for himself. Like he's making music that he loves, I guess, you know? And the bars are still there. That's what I love about it, right?
Yes.
As the bars are still there and is able to capture whatever you're saying, whatever he's going through now, you know? It wasn't what I expected, you know? And also, it's good to not always expect the same shit.
Nice. Or be surprised.
You have to be surprised.
Yeah.
You have to be surprised. You're like, oh, shit. You know?
Yes. Shout
I
out.
also like those short lips, you know. I mean, obviously, I know an artist has to do something that his fans recognize him for to keep the numbers rolling. But I do love it. And most of the time, I do encourage artists to be a little bit more adventurous. Keep these singles on the bangers, but don't neglect exploring your other side, you know? Because it does inform even your popular music in a certain way. And it helps you unearth new sounds. So I really I respect what they're doing out there. Another person that I wanted to talk about was Casper. Casper's song.
He went left, right?
Yes.
I was about to say both people actually went left. Because
Yes.
Nasty also went left.
Yes, with feelings.
No, Zulu Man.
Zulu Man with some power
Yes,
too.
Zulu Man.
So let's chop it up. Let's start with the start.
Okay, so you started with Casper, so let's start with Casper.
Yeah.
All right, so I see a lot of people were obviously like whiling on Twitter about, hey, how do you bring out Zola and then you give us a church song, gospel song, what. And I'm like, but maybe that's the direction that they wanted to go in for the song. They're musicians. You can't box them forever. That's the one thing. And the second thing for me as well is that you also can't expect to find Zola Ngwembe in 2020. He's not the same person. So if he wants to then portray himself on a song in a different light, and this is his opportunity to do that, allow him to do that. He is an artist. So I really felt that there's a lot of judgment and people dictating to people what they should and shouldn't be doing with their music. I even tweeted Casper and I was like, I thought it was a beautiful song. Purely because they took a short left with it and I appreciated what they did with the song.
Yeah.
So I'm with it.
So here's the thing, right? I listened to that way before that joint, right?
Sure.
And I even heard the joint that comes before that joint, right? And it kind of gave me goosebumps, the first joint, you know? And for it to run through to that joint, I was like, oh shit, it makes sense. And also, you're correct, Noni. My thing is, Uzola and Casper are at a different stage of their lives right now.
Exactly.
They can't be making, if Casper had to deliver a piano song, what are the critics going to say?
Exactly.
Ask Katele.
They're gonna say something anyway.
You know what I mean? So I think also people have to bear in mind where Casper is with his life, right? He's about to be a father any minute from now. You know what I mean? So obviously that song is probably so emotional to him because it's probably something that probably reflects towards his son and thanking God for what he has, you know, for where he's come from and for where he's heading to. So sometimes people need to look at people, observe where this person is with his life and where they're going to, and also listen to the overall production of the song. And you're like, okay, cool, this is dope. They've got the choir. Who's this lady that's singing? Where's she from? She's from Joyous Celebration. You know, and Uzola also it's a nice impact. For me, it's like it shows where Casper is and he's matured.
Sure. I agree with you on that, you know. And one thing I do love about Casper is that he's able to, at any given point, shut out the noise.
Yeah.
And also he's able to create noise. We all know that, you know. And he's going on his marketing run, right? You know, he reminds me of DJ Khaled and Rick Ross when it comes to marketing. When you go onto Rick Ross's page, Rich Forever on the gram, every day, the way he pushes Bele, the way he pushes Bunbu, like, that's how Casper is with his marketing. And I'm sure he picks it up from somewhere there. But I love that he's always able to shut out noise and follow his heart no matter what. Be the noise people, be the noise us on the podcast, or be the noise wherever it might come from, you know? And that's what I've always admired about him is that we are Ilandela. uyalandela ilizwi lakhe. And onto the music part, I think the South African fans really can be bullies sometimes, and they really don't understand shit sometimes. And they are allowed to do that. But I really also love what he's done. You know, when I was saying that he should take a break, it's because he said it's taken 2 years to create an album, but the singles that he was coming with, Amadimoni was rumored to be a song by someone else. The Pop Smoke sound was a Pop Smoke sound. You know, so I was like, 2-year break, and this is what you come back with. So I think you need to sit down a bit more. But after hearing that track, it's like, okay, you know, I'm loving that you are able to do something that isn't expected from you and something that fulfills you and also reflect where you are in your life. Not to say that you can't be at a certain age in your life and still rap, but I like that you can do what you want to do. We need more people who are doing things that they want to do. Nina, as the fans, you'll gather yourselves around whatever
And
niggas
deal
is
with
doing
it.
and deal with it, you know?
But funny enough, the Tibetans actually loved it.
Sure, no,
What I
it's
saw,
number one.
It's number
It's
one.
number one.
And
Yeah.
they're streaming it, they're buying it. You
Yeah.
know? And at the same time, I'll shout out to Casper for not changing who he is and keeping it South African wire. Not
Yeah.
even South African, African
Yeah.
wire.
And that's also another thing that's proving to be into ezobonakala as we go into these album releases. It's going to be about, does your fan base really got you? I feel like that's something that's going to be exposed a lot.
And will you grow?
And will you grow?
And get
will
other fan base. You know,
Yes.
tap into another fan base.
Yes.
So now he's technically tapping into
the gospel fan base.
Gospel
and gospel
and
music.
Zola.
And Zola. And gospel music, we know, is one of the highest selling genres in this country.
100%.
And also, the businessman behind Casper, I like that move. Because I know he must have been like, yo, you know, people forget that Jesus is King didn't do hip-hop-ish, but it was number one in gospel. It was, you know what I mean? It was
And it created an entire movement, which Kanye did really well. And I understand where Casper's also trying to go with this. And I think we mentioned this as well the first time when he actually put up that he's dropping this album in September.
Yeah.
I already, just from the artwork, knew that this one was going to be a different type of project. And I'm expecting it to be a beautiful, personal album.
Yes.
And that's why when Bonkosi came out, I understood the personal journey he was taking.
Yes.
And he was portraying that in that song.
I'm
So-
expecting everybody's work to be personal, to be honest with you. I'm not, because it's like, why are you gonna be rapping about shit we can't even do because we were under quarantine? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm expecting everybody's work to be personal and reflective. And that's just me, you know? I do expect 1 or 2 bangers. But yes, I do, because Rockets is open now. You know?
I mean, level 2. Well, yeah.
No, but how's this thing working? Sorry to off-ramp like Sister would do.
Yeah.
So, is it alcohol only Monday to Thursday, or restaurants are allowed to sell alcohol?
No, so alcohol sales
Yeah.
at like Tops, Liquor City,
Okay, yeah.
Northern Goodfellows.
Where
and
it's
the guys.
cheaper, yeah.
Yeah, so we go to a bottle store
Yeah.
Monday to Thursday.
Okay.
But if you go to a restaurant, you're able to purchase. But I need to, there, it's you basically get, I don't know, it's, what's the word? It's controlled. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay,
Because
cool.
you're sitting down and you're only having 2 or 3 drinks, and because it's expensive, you're not going to walk out there with a bottle of Ciroc. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I think that's why they're allowing it in restaurants. And I'm still a little bit blurry on the situation because I know they say 50 people capacity, but then our restaurants only at 70%. I saw some rule like that. Maybe that's why some places can be full and not necessarily stick to the 50-person rule.
Yeah, maybe it's the capacity. Let's say,
Yes.
I'll use a Rockets. Maybe Rockets can take 1,000 people.
Yes.
So maybe if they can say, cool, with social distancing, our venue probably allows us to have 70, maybe.
Yeah.
Could be that, right?
Okay.
Or for example, but I've been seeing a lot. I've been seeing a lot of videos, guys posting videos. Which apparently it is getting out of control where people are not wearing masks and all of those things, you know?
Sure.
And people need to forget that, we're not over this pandemic right now where we are. You know what I mean? Still take care of yourself because you are going to go home. It's either you're going to your parents or you're going to your loved ones. So you never know if you're going to bring it back home, you know?
Yeah. Sure.
So you just need to always protect yourself.
People definitely have to be careful. I mean, I was out at Shimza's place this weekend, hangouts in Tembisa. And what I liked about the difference between maybe say hangouts and where other places that were being videoed is they still try to keep that as the COVID regulation. So they obviously check the temperatures on entry, sanitize
Were you
the
playing
people.
there?
Yes, I played there
Nice.
on Saturday. They also make sure that you have a mask. They tick there to make sure they take down everybody's name and details. I think that's also important, just in case there's an outbreak, they can contact people afterwards to basically say, okay, somebody in the store called to say that they've got it or whatever. It's easier to kind of communicate that way. But they kept everybody in their tables. And that's what is important about understanding that restaurants can open because they have tables, which is the social distancing of separating people. So if you come with 5 people, you and your 5 people stick to your table. Don't move around.
Sure.
You understand? It's not like a club where you are in one corner, then you go to someone else's table, then you go to the toilet, then you go to the bar, then you know what I mean?
It's a lot.
And I grab the ice with my hands.
You understand? You and your 5 people just stay on your table, and listen to the music and rock. You know what I mean?
Let's get
So
that.
that's what it is.
Speaking of music, we haven't been done, dog. We got
No,
so
we're
much
not
music to
done.
discuss. So we were discussing Casper, right?
Yes.
Who was the next one?
Zulu man with some power.
Yes.
Mtsweza, Mzulu.
Yes. So how do you feel about him? When you've heard that song, I mean, you've heard the album, so you knew.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
But I think also he did kind of relay it in some interview that, he needed to kind of do something like this to say where he's from.
Yeah.
So the whole song is about where he's from. He didn't even post that, I'm missing home right
Yeah.
now. So shout outs to Nasty. I think he did shut up a whole lot of critics. He even shut me up. I didn't expect him to go Venex straight.
Sure.
And I think we're probably gonna get more of this. And I appreciate that. So shout out to Nasty. I think he's doing well. Like his streaming numbers are there. You can see from the charts. Him and Casper are just dominating right now.
They're dominating right now.
Which is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also just it's a growth spurt on Nasty's part. We spoke about this even last week. To say that allow people to take their journey to get to where they're going.
Sure.
And if Nasty, this is his entry into getting to where he's going, then we appreciate it at the end of the day. But it's not to say that we're dictating to him what he needs to put out. At the end of the day, he is putting out an album which is personal to him, which is Nasty C.
Yeah.
So now we're just getting another side of Nasty C that we haven't seen. And I guess that's what we're appreciating as well as South Africans. But I think the rest of the world's also going to be able to get to know a little bit more about Nasty C through this album. So shout outs to him for obviously giving us Zulu Man. And of course, I saw the video as well where he was there with his boys. He gave a few shout outs to his homies in the song. But then that video with the boys, I think, was really awesome.
It was really awesome.
Because it's like, I know you were
He's from the
definitely missing
trenches.
home.
Yeah.
and I think, it may not stick out to people like, wow. But I think the more he does this, he's probably going to get more into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not that it's his first time rapping in Zulu.
Yeah.
Because the first time I heard Nasty C was a song that he actually rapped in Zulu.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was a song that he had submitted to Slick on Life, and it came onto my show like years back. It must have been like when he was like 18, 19.
Must have been younger.
Yeah.
Because Juiceback blew up at 18.
Yeah, so the name of the song was Wenza Mambara.
Sure.
Okay.
And he rapped in Zulu there, but I think for him, he was like, I'm more comfortable rapping in English. Let me just do what I'm comfortable with. Which is okay, because that's the journey he needs to take. Reason did the same thing.
Yeah.
For the longest time, Reason was rapping in English because he said he's more comfortable in English. And now he's coming back into,
And
okay, let
mixing
me do my Zulu as well.
Yeah.
So we can't really dictate an artist's journey. I really feel we need to just allow them to be.
Straight up. Just on the Aries topic before I touch on Nasty C, what I also loved this week was seeing Shakana post in Aries. She was listening to the song. And I feel like it's important I love it, and it's important for artists to support one another. So, and I want to urge the young kids,
Our generation have, and I'll vouch for this. I know that my generation, right? We've always supported each other. I know if someone was dropping, people would drop. If people were performing, there was even a point where Keenan or a Casper or a KO or a Ricky, they would play the biggest song right now. I know they would perform Karakara. If I'm sure. And Casper used to do that. Or we play Congratulate or whatever, when on stage, When
Casper, you did not just play Congratulate.
No, he did before it really
everything.
There was points I remember that people did support each other, say, get the homies thing. What I don't see with the younger generation, they don't support each other as much. When Nasty dropped, no one said anything. When Aries dropped, no one said anything. You understand? But also the OGs are the ones say, catch that Nasty C. Catch that Aries. But the younger generations.
Yeah, I want to see more of that. That's why I was talking about the Shakana thing. And it was beautiful to see that. So I would like to see more of that. I know that Tsecho and Gemini Major, the clicks really do it. But it really is to make this game better, it's going to need all of us to be cheering and supporting all of us. We can see what's happening right now. And we need to, like, this is our way of really attaining some financial something out there and making sure that our art, we can live on it. And to do that, we're going to need everybody supporting everybody as much as you can. I mean, I'm not saying everybody's friendly with one another, but if you are able to support a person, please do. Because yabuya londo kuwe. Then itache kulento kaNasty ke ngoku. Umna ndayiva le track last year or 2 years back. You know, he played it for me. And
I remember you mentioned it actually.
Yeah.
In a conversation we had, yeah.
Yeah. So I was surprised then. I didn't know if he's going to release it or whatever, but I'm glad that he's released it. And to what you were saying, besincokola ngalento yabantu not being happy with whatever the artist does. Yeah. If he does gospel, they're not happy. If he would do boom, they would not. You know what I mean? Like, people are just so finicky. And with Nasty as well, it happened on some, like, now he raps in Zulu and people have something to say about it. But I guess as South African art and as a South African artist, we really have to understand, because in America, it's like this too. You know, you watch the Vlad TVs, you watch the Adam 22s, you go on the comments on World Star Hip Hop or Rap Radar. There is a section of the game that will always be negative. And we're gonna have to understand that and remove that from our focus.
Scoop, with success comes what?
Haters!
Right?
And it's been happening, right?
Yeah.
And even though if some don't believe in Jesus, but Jesus also got hate.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like that. And I'm just happy, man. Like, I'm proud of the guys and what they're doing. I really, to see them develop and grow as they are. It's heartwarming. And also with Nasty, the other thing is, I get to go visit him sometimes and I go see him. And I really do that because I learn so much from the way he thinks. It informs my old mind in how to stay fit in these times. And he's such a wide thinker. I mean, he developed a plugin. What are plugins, Gigi? It's like the sound things that Double D does, right?
Yeah,
or whatever.
So plugins are obviously, if you have, let's say you have a normal software like a Fruity Loops, right?
Yes.
But maybe there's an external sound that you want, a different plugin, let's say like this type of bass guitar sound, it's called a plugin into the software. I'm correct, I think so.
Yeah, so when I was there the other time, he was doing this, he was developing this, and he put it out there and he was upgrading it. He does everything by himself.
Yeah.
And then he was showing me where in the world this was being used. Then the next day he dropped it. The snake game that he developed, you know, in his spare time when he doesn't.
He's a nerd, eh?
He's a nerd hard.
The biggest nerd.
He's a nerd hard.
I think him and Nota will probably be best friends.
You know what I mean?
We'll get to that just now.
I'll get there maybe during the day. I'll sit from 3. He'll come down at 7. If he's always upgrading himself, he's studying coding. I've mentioned this because he wants to build his own websites and stuff like that. And that shit impresses me to yo, you here, but your mind is over there.
Yeah.
You know? So, and I'm very excited for the Zulu Man with Some Power album.
Yes.
I'm very excited for Rhys's album. Do you know what it's going to be called already?
He did put it out. I'm not sure. Actually, we don't know, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of drops that are going to be coming. It's Zulu Man with Some Power in the next week or so.
Yeah.
Any minute now is also coming on the 11th. Logan is dropping on the 17th of September. MT. You also mentioned Nadia is going to be dropping something. So we don't know. So there's obviously Rhys's album is also on the way. But somebody else who also took a shot left with the music.
Yes.
Rouge featuring Amanda Black.
Yay.
And we know Rouge to be bars on bars on
Yay.
bars. And she was like, let me remind you that I've also got a vocal happening.
Vocal ability.
And for you to go neck on neck with Amanda Black.
That's who. Understand me.
Go neck and say, yay, I'm going to own this song just as much as Amanda's going to own this song.
Yo.
I want to give a big shout out to Rouge for stepping it up again.
And
on top of stepping up her musicality, she also made a song that had a message because the song is called Senzeni Na.
Sure.
Dedicated to the gentlemen of South Africa to ask the question, Senzeni.
See, Labo Beach.
And she even sent out a letter to the gentlemen of South Africa to say, why us? You guys need to answer this question because we're tired of asking, we're tired of speaking about this, we're tired of going back on this topic of GBV. So the song is basically dedicated to that message. And it was so insightful and also so on topic and so perfect for Rouge to release on this weekend. There was a lot of releases, but yo.
Sorry to cut you, Noni. Sorry to cut you. Since they're quick to congratulate people for getting international deals, they must also be quick to address what Rouge is also saying on the song. That's what we want, you know. I'm not going to mention the names. They know who they are. Congratulations and condolences. They need to also kind of say, yo.
Yes.
We see you, Rouge. We hear you on this topic, ladies.
You know what I mean?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I also love not to lighten what you were talking about, Cosmo, but listen, my daughter. Niggas know what it is.
Wow. I'm so sorry, ladies.
No, ladies, I'm not sorry. Listen, dog. I'm not sorry, dog. Hi.
Spist also say, what's
Hauselella? So, you know what I was also loving about Rouge? That new hairstyle, girl. The little Jada Pinkett, little Bob, little 90s, no. Don't walk away, but ain't when I like that.
Do you know who cut that wig for her? So it was one of her old wigs. And then she was like, no, I need to kind of freshen this thing up. Because, okay, just to take you through a journey. At some point, our hair gets old and we can't wear it anymore. You see it, obviously. So to kind of re-up, you either cut it so that you can keep the same wig because the texture is really great.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Or you throw it away.
Or don't you dye it also? You can.
You can, but that also kind of ruins the hair.
Sure, you're right.
So anyway, for her, she was like, look, this hair's still good quality, but the ends are starting to die out. Which is the same as what normal people do when they go and cut their ends.
Yes.
Right? So she was like, no, let me get this thing chopped up. One of her boys in her team.
I was about to say.
That's crazy.
It wasn't a girl. It was because Rouge hangs out with a bunch of niggas.
when they were making the song.
No, it wasn't Keenan.
Yeah.
Rouge hangs out with a bunch of niggas. Like it's just her and like her 5 squad of boys that she hangs out with. It was one of the boys in her squad who was like, okay, let me chop this thing up for you. And there you have.
What's got Tony Prex? Just let go. We love it. We love it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I love the new look, the outlook, and I did say that
the new look and the outlook is true. Love the rhetoric
outlook
there.
For Rouge, because she did. When I spoke to her about her album, she was like, her album is not going to be what New Era Sessions was. She's growing in her album, and when it comes out, you'll hear it.
Nice.
And this is one of the songs showing the growth.
Nice.
Funny you say that, right? Look at Rouge's image throughout the years, right? I think Rouge came through as a little girl, right? She was a little girl, and now she's transforming into becoming a lady. Even with the image, even now you see Rouge as you know what I mean? I'm not saying those little things make you a lady, you know, but you could just see it. You're like, wait, Rouge has changed from that Rouge, and she's grown up. Even the music as well is also translating. And she's dissing me a few songs.
Sure.
And I was like, yo, who is singing? She's like, it's me. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
But that's the thing is,
I remember I said that. I was like, get the fuck out
I
of here.
really feel like people weren't paying attention when Rouge released Sheba Wano.
Yeah.
Sheba Wano, she was singing throughout that entire song, but because the song didn't blow up as much as she had wanted it to, a lot of people forgot that she actually sang.
You know what to call Rouge?
But also, she did release a clip where she was murdering the vocals. Yeah. You know, I remember playing it on radio, like, guys, I made everybody listen to it, and I told them later who it was, and they couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was so astonished that I had to use it as a radio clip on some,
music, right? And I know this dropped 2 weeks back. The Ginger Trill?
Yo!
I didn't check that out. I'll take some time this week and check it out.
Yeah.
My bad, Ginger, my bad.
You know,
Ginger.
after listening to the album, and I'm gonna call Ginger.
Yeah.
Ginger, if you and I can do 4 songs, fair.
It's true.
Are you back in the stew,
I would
Gigi?
do it. I would
Gigi's
do it
back
with
in the
Ginger.
stew.
I would do it with Ginger.
Yeah?
Ginger, if we could do 4 songs, Nalue.
Yeah.
Trust me. Ginger,
What would you call it?
I don't know.
We are rapper Ginger Trill.
come
Prince
on.
of Poch.
Verse of the year, maybe twice, 3 times.
We are rapper Lamshita, fit. We are rapper Lamshita. And I'm glad, Cosmo, because I forgotten about it. I'm glad you brought that up, you know? I'm really glad you brought that up. Was it Cosmo or you, VG?
It's me.
It's
But
you.
It's family.
So I'm glad. Cosmo's just sitting there taking the props.
I'm still trying to figure out what Pop's
She's
giving
sitting
me.
there
Look,
just
it's women's
taking
month,
the
okay? I ain't gonna call her out.
She sat there and just assumed the vacation of the fun. So, no, like, yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. Another nigga that I want to talk about, because we always talk about the fact that we now have to be more proactive about uplifting guys that are spitting native tongue or have a very deep sense of a native vibe. Ekseba fethu. Niyayibona into eyenzekayo pha ku-25K. Do you see it? Do you feel it? The aesthetic, the raps, the cool, the drowsiness, the dreads, I don't know what to call it, but it's palpable that his image, his songs, his imagery that he induces with his words.
Speaks to the songs as well.
My nigga, I love, and the thing is this, I can't hear 60-70% of what he says, but I feel it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
music.
I'm learning the language through him.
That's music.
But my dog, like, the same way I feel when Travis turns away from camera and the hair falls down. Mang bonu 25K. I just feel the stardom on a nigga. When he just like, and the grills come, I'm like, yo, this image is the one. Yo, if I was a young nigga, I want to be like this guy. So I just love what you're doing there, dog. It's grungy, it's dirty, it's dangerous. It's dangerous, and I love it. I love it.
And it's Pretoria.
It's Pretoria. Pretoria is a massive.
No, Pretoria's got they've got their own culture, their own vibe, their own people. And I've also been discovering a lot of like up and coming Pretoria type of rappers as well. Also on the same kind of wavelength, Boogeyman, and then there's also some other kid, Tato Soul, who I've been playing on the stirrup as well, who's also been shocking me. I love how they rap Pretoria so loud and proud.
And it seems like Pretoria, I don't know why does it come across like that for me. Like if I listen to Focalistic, I feel like he makes the song really easy.
Yeah.
25K. I'm like, these songs, they sound easy to make, but they're very good at cutting through the clutter and hitting the nail on the head, whether it's a beat or a melody or words. They and in vibe, uyithola direct from the fountain of the studio.
Inside.
You know?
So I'm gonna shout out someone right now, right?
Yeah.
And we've been having a discussion, about hip hop and where it's going.
Yeah.
Right now, the new wave of hip hop is the Focus.
Yes.
It's the 25K.
Yes.
It's the
Maclera
Top
Boy.
Boy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Maclera is gonna be a problem, guys.
And one thing we're not noticing, it's that Motswako, not frequency.
It's that
Motswako
gene pool.
sound that's coming back.
DNA.
You know what I mean? And I'll shout outs to obviously the WHPs, the Dukes,
Yes.
the Momolimis, and the Stones for paving that way.
They're gonna
right
kill
now,
you for not mentioning Cooley, dog.
And Kulichan is the king of it,
Sure.
So now, for me, that is gonna bring back that whole lane.
Yes.
Where is Notsi? That kid was nice.
He actually released. I actually saw something.
He
but
did
I didn't
release a
check,
song.
but I didn't check out the song.
Hey, Inzi Malandwana.
Yeah.
Notsi, we see you, dog.
Yeah.
We see you, my nigga.
And speaking of the Momo Limis of the world, I saw that Casper actually said that he had Mo in studio.
Hey,
And you must
Casper.
remember, Mo hasn't released music since like my 2002.
He's been farming, man.
He's been farming. He's
I've gone to his farm, guys.
He released one album and he was like, okay, I'm done with this music thing. I'm going to go and just be a farmer. To get Mulimi back into the studio.
Yo, and you must know that track is probably speaking about society. Because he doesn't want to speak about anything else but the real.
Yeah.
I've gone to his farm. His potato sachets of the goods that come from his plantation have the lyrics to his songs.
Oh, that's dope.
You know, he stays in a house that his grandfather used to stay at. The land was his grandfather's land. He had to learn farming.
But that's why Mulimi
Mulimi is a farmer,
yeah.
right? And he said, which was a shocking thing, and also why white people will definitely not be giving up this land easily. He said that, you cracked me up when you just laughed at the side. He said that it took 10 years to make a profit off the land.
Yo.
10 years. That's the average.
So he's been paying the banks and
Do you understand? So like i-patience leyo eningayazi ukuba sinayo singabantu abantsundu. Sicima thina sizawuplanta nje kube mnandi. And then it's on.
Nothing comes overnight, eh?
Nothing comes overnight. And I'm definitely going to get into farming. And speaking of farming, can I just get a little small anecdote here, guys, that I think I want to share with you guys? So I was talking to someone who's an elder to me in a cultural sense because I want to get into planting my own food. And then this person told me, like, before you plant a seed, you must lick it. And you must lick it, and then let's say you're licking the seed of a cabbage will grow. But the seed, this is how smart the universe is. That's what I got from this. And how we are in relation to everything in the universe as human beings. When you lick the seed, the seed then reads your DNA. It can tell which nutrients you are good in and which nutrients you are lacking. So when the cabbage or grape or pineapple or apple grows, it grows strong in the nutrients that you are lacking. Wow. It floored me, the design of the universe and our relation to it. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because I thought it's not hip-hop, but it's knowledge of self, which is an element of hip-hop.
That's so dope.
Yo, that was so dope, man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I'm blown
And
away.
bitch, you've got some umhlaba nice abajof.
I will.
What else we're gonna talk about?
All right, so we're also going to talk about...
Elaine signing Colombia, Clive Davis.
Fetsu. And I think it was perfect timing that they did it when they dropped the Risky video because obviously then there was something to push, but then there was a really big announcement. Yeah. And I also felt it was quite funny that Ambitious tweeted that, oh no, they beat us to it.
I was like, I like that though. I liked that.
How ambitious of you. But anyway, so Elaine is gone. She is international.
She is gone.
And for her to sign to because everybody's been trying to sign Elaine. I know that there've been talks from different types of South African labels who are like, no, we want her. Obviously because she made a lot of waves on the internet streets in South Africa. But for her to then settle with a Colombia because she understands that's the home that's going to grow her as an R&B artist. Beyonce.
Yeah.
Adele.
Yeah.
John Legend.
Yes.
Taylor Swift.
Yo.
Is Taylor?
No,
it's not Taylor.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
UMG.
My bad, sorry, not Taylor Swift.
Someone else is there, some big artist.
Some other big white artists that I saw, my bad. But nonetheless, just those three. Yeah. Oh, Solange is also there as well. Pharrell is also at Columbia. Now, can you imagine how you're surrounded by these label mates where they're also going to aid you to say, work with this person.
Yes, we'll make songwriters by Adele.
Songwriters by Adele, songwriters by
Beyonce's team.
John Legend.
It's going to be John Legend is an excellent
Pharrell
songwriter.
as a producer. And I like and Pharrell's also one of those people who likes working with new people.
Guys, let's forget it. She's gone.
Definitely. No. Definitely.
Elaine. Wana Pretoria.
Shout out.
She's from Pretoria.
She's from Pretoria.
Doesn't matter Pretoria.
It's Pretoria's time, guys.
Too.
It's Pretoria's time.
Shout out to Pori.
Shout out to Pretoria. You started the whole thing, baby.
Speaking of Pretoria, also just want to give a shout out to my girl Devon Gogo, who dropped her EP as well with Dino Cafe. And she's also singing on one of the songs. She's also singing on You must just listen out for the Gogo voice. She's there in one of the tunes.
Nice one, man.
Hit me up on the comments. Let me know if you know which song I'm talking about. But Devon Gogo's also got the vocals. So it might be the era of the singing DJ. We don't know.
Sure. It might be the era of South African artists going international.
Yes.
It is the era. Not it might be. It is the era.
It is.
And
I think, Scoop, it has always been the era where I never said niggas. African artists go international.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
It's always been. Look at the Burners.
Yeah.
Look at the WizKids.
Yeah. But it just hasn't happened for us, Kalo.
So, well, yeah.
Not like this. You know what I'm saying?
But maybe it's happened, but we didn't know. Like, Candice Pillay was signed with Interscope. You know what I mean? With songwriting, because she's known for songwriting, right? The Unword was also signed with... It's been happening, but maybe we didn't knock enough to make the noise, you know? And also right now...
the Unword, they don't answer in call.
And also, another person who also makes the loudest noise is the congratulations and condolences. Actually, every time you do something, you know, also because Master KG also got something that will make noise.
So all the international signings this week, not this week, but obviously just in this year, the announcements. Elaine for Columbia, Shoma Josie for Epic, Nasty C for Def Jam, Master KG for Warner Music.
Yo, that's big.
Mpetu.
You understand?
So We're watching you.
Yo,
And I
hey,
think, we're really watching you and we're supporting you because I was looking at, there was like a chart that I saw on social media that had the highest amount of album sales, just like sales in the world.
And we were there.
No, we weren't there, but we'll get there.
Actually,
But
that's why
Burna
it's
is sitting at
time.
number 11 and he dropped his album 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
Lonnie,
So that also shows you how the power
Of us.
of Africa is coming
translating
through.
now.
okay, I like numbers, right?
Yeah.
Burna, go look at his monthly listens on Spotify, right? And I think my big homie and my little kid also put me on this, right? He's actually way over the other guys that I used to think, oh, like, oh shit, these guys are moving way and above, you know? He's actually like,
Yeah,
way
he's
over.
left Davido
He's
and
like over
Wizkid.
3 million
No,
monthly
Upena
streams.
makes amazing music. And speaking of numbers and charts, Nasty C's not released album, the pre-orders, he's sitting number 5 in the world
On iTunes charts,
for
yeah.
pre-orders.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's huge.
Well, I don't think in the world. I think in our iTunes chart.
Yes,
Sure.
it's
all
in the South
genres.
African.
Okay.
Yeah, for all genres.
Of
yeah,
all
I think, yeah,
genres.
for all genres. You
Sure.
know, for the world
Number
that cannot
5
speak, yeah.
for the
Yeah.
pre-orders.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not out yet.
It's not even out yet. That's
Power.
again, I like that because
Defense.
lento bengithetha ngayo. Ndifuna uhlala phansi ngibone ngubani one fan base. And I think
Nesta's got a fan base.
Nasty, I mean, I do know that, you know. I just love the fact that now the artists have done their jobs. With all that's happening with the signings, with T.I. talking about you. I saw Sway talking, was it this year or last year? Nasty was supposed to tour with Uzi Vert. There's a clip.
It must have been this year, but obviously
Yeah.
2020 happened, so some plans
And then
have...
some plans have changed.
Yeah.
He was supposed to tour, I've got a clip of it where Sway even has DJ Drama on the other line because DJ Drama was organizing this tour. So obviously it's an old thing because Uzi Vert and Drama no longer work together.
yeah.
So into endala leyo. But kodwa ndithi i-artist ziwenzile umsebenzi wazo. It's time for thina singabantu abathandi bomculo sidlale indima yethu ngoku. And in South Africa, I've always been fascinated by America and the fandomness of America. With the merch game, with the, tours, with people attending every tour. Like a fan doesn't care if they're going to be seen by the artist, but the fan would be like, I went to every tour this year. I'll keep everything.
No, it's a shirt.
And that's how I am.
Yeah, definitely.
No matter the fact that I work in the industry, but because I saw that in America, I said to myself, to push this kind of narrative, I have to be that first, no matter where I'm working. So that's how I am, and I want us as South Africans to get to that level of, like say, Proper or Travis Scott image, it's out in 24 hours, and if you don't get that, you out.
Yeah.
So let's put that culture over here, Mzansi. Don't just be the people that sit there and nitpick and look away. No, nitpick while supporting.
You know, I'm glad you said that because I'll also pinpoint something that, we don't give the OGs credit as well. You know, and especially the hip hop cats because they've been doing it from even I think Jabba and the Tegas days also with the BT nominations, etc. Right?
Yeah.
But also the Keenans, the Caspers, the KOs going to the Tim Westwoods, doing the Hot 97, doing the Sways. Shout outs to them. And also, this is a time, and I'm glad you said that we should support each other because this is a time because we are so quick, and by we, I'm talking about Nina and everyone. We are so quick when an artist passes away. Why wasn't he saving money? Nina, South African music industry, the artists die broke, etc., etc. That's because of the support. The more you guys support artists and the whole industry, not even artists, even people, writers. You support writers, you support the people who shoot, you support everyone. That's the more income these people get. Even if it's just a fraction, but you know what I mean? The pie becomes...
And stop with the fagaza. Oh my
Stop with the
gosh.
fagaza.
Please.
Somebody even tweeted me on Friday to say, the link I got on fagaza only has half the song. I was like, why are you busy? You're tweeting
Fagaza
me
removed.
about fagaza.
So when Miss Cosmo starts a touch word, but let's say Miss Cosmo has a POPcast and Mizalaga next.
Sure.
You guys never credited.
They think, I saw a remark about the podcast. Now, when Speedy was saying it's out, another site was like, yeah, maybe he wasn't happy about the money. That too, the misinformation on that. Guys, we do this show out of our own strength and pockets. We do not get paid to do this show at all. So that's how much we love this thing. And hopefully we're trying to share information that reaches somebody so we can make a change in this culture. We're tired of sitting there and going, identifying the problems, but coming with no solution. So think about that too, you know?
Before we close off, a very...
Wait, cause can I please
Okay.
add on VG, what VG was saying? I agree with you, VG, that we need to support. And I also want to urge our artists. You know, it's your soul, it's your body, it's your community, it's your ecosystem, the world and the universe. Ndihlala welcome an ecosystem. Ziyaxhaswa i-artist. Nazi i-artist masixhase umphakathi. Because kuba lula for abantu to go, I'll put my money to that artist. Because the artist, ikhona izinto ezenzayo with community. I want our artists to be more proactive in our communities in every way, in everywhere and form. Because in hip hop, ayishi kamnandi into yokuba ndithi ndixhasa uzondibrekela ngemoto yakho. Uzondibrekela ngewatch yakho. Andithi suyenza loo nto, anditsho uba abantu barongo. Kodwa ndithi masiyijongeni loo nto leyo. Let's look at that thing. Because it's easy for then a network of a community to go, no matter what they're saying about so and so. And this is actually something, it's a notion that was used by gangs. Crips and Bloods used to use this notion. The Black Panthers used to use this notion. The Italian mob used to use this notion. Strengthen your community. So because then when the cops come, the community's like, we ain't ratting on Frank Lucas. We ain't ratting. He's helping us. So when we start realizing that everybody needs each other and let's all work together for the betterment of ourselves and our culture,
but I think some guys do it.
But
okay, maybe the lyrics.
I'm not saying, dog,
okay, my bad. Okay, let's not fight today.
Yeah,
let's not fight.
This is what started the fight last week.
Okay, sharp.
Dog, now.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we also just need to kind of wrap up on somebody who was also nitpicking on the music industry this past weekend and has been nitpicking on the music industry in general. And look, we hear you. I just think as much as you might have information to give to the game, please also understand delivery is just as important as what you have to say to the game. And that's where I think your message is being lost. So obviously I'm talking about Nota because he trended obviously for bad-mouthing the guys this weekend and saying, yo, Cass, what a trash song, 1, 2, 3. Zulu man, hey, I finally got Nasty to rap in Zulu. Firstly, I don't think you did that. That's my personal opinion. My personal opinion, you didn't make Nasty rap in Zulu.
Sweet, man, VG.
But you are very opinionated, and yes, you do come with facts and numbers, but that can only get you so far in the conversation. Learn how to talk to people. Because that's where you lose people, because your message isn't delivered correctly.
You're right.
Maybe I'm being too PC in my comments. You guys can chime in where you want.
Maybe you're being too PC.
Yeah.
Because do you wanna unravel?
I mean...
You can unravel, Cosmo.
I mean, but chime in first. I'll come in. I'll come back in.
I'll let you go, VG.
You know, Nota's a good friend of mine, right? And I need to call him. I will call him. In some parts, I see where he's coming from. In some parts, also, I'm like, Nota, do you have to put it out there? You know? And I know he likes to raise his voice. You know, he likes to put himself out there, you know? And I just think sometimes, you know, to not be seen as a hater, because as we're saying, the fans or the people only see one thing. They don't know how to probably dissect or look at things. You understand? But maybe call the person. But it's one of those, if something's bothering you or you want to relay something, rather call and voice your opinion. You understand? It's one of those things where I say like, shit, maybe I need to call Keenan and say like, yo, dog, I'm not sure about this song, bro. You know? It's not me putting it out there, tweeting, yo, song is garbage, it's trash. I don't want to do that because at the same time, yo, that man is also trying to lay his bread.
Yes.
You know? But also at the same time, we shouldn't gas people up to say, yo, this is the most beautiful thing ever, whatever, you know? Or whatever, when you know that, yo, shit is half-stepped.
Sure.
And the sad part when it comes through with Nota, I mean, I'm also, you know, I'm cool with him. We've had our tiffs here and there.
Nota's a tiffs with everyone.
Yeah, he's fought with everybody in the game. It's fine, that's just who he is. But it's also because he's so passionate about the game.
Yeah. That's something I love about him.
Because he's so passionate, he wants to make sure that the game survives and it procreates and it becomes bigger than what it is, you know? But again, people skills, zero. And
People
that's
very-
why you end up having tips with everybody in the cave.
To the point where he had a tip with his best friend and label mate.
Exactly.
Questa. When Questa released that thing on Twitter, I was like, damn.
That was heartbreaking, right?
That was heartbreaking,
Yeah,
right?
man.
That was really heartbreaking. And for me, I've also had my tips with Nota. And I've still left respecting him, loving him, knowing that he's a necessary energy and force in this game for us to be able to make sense of what we're doing and evolve. I feel the same way about you, Cosmo, where sometimes I feel like what he knows is it's okay to know what you know, but when you're starting to enforce it on people, and maybe because people don't know what you know, you start to think they're dumb, and you actually talk like that. You know what I'm saying? That is, for me, was a big problem. Because sure and well, you might know what you know, but you also don't know what these other people know. Yeah, even in each other. So just because someone doesn't know what you know, don't always put them in the dumb box. Or talk to them like they're in the dumb box or in the dumb corner. I never liked that. But I've always respected him and loved him and told him. And it was really sad to see the Questa thing. And I want to talk about that because I've never seen a soul and a heart like Questa's in hip-hop all over the world.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone who's so humble, and not because it's an act, that's who he truly is. I've never seen someone who's so peaceful, but don't get him on a rap track because he'll fuck your whole shit up. You know? So, and I always wanted to make sure that Yawana Lomjida, watching him from afar, I'm like, this is the guy I don't never want to be in bad books with. Because then something, and I don't know what happened in the relationship between them. But as I'm thinking about it, Questa's about to have a second baby, Nota's about to get married. Things are escalating in life. And
Rap
things
dads.
and
Rap husbands.
100%.
No, I'm saying about rap dads, about rap husbands.
Rap dead and rat husbands, you know? And I don't know what's happening, but it's like in South Africa now, we are going through that era of what we've watched overseas with Rock Nation or Rockefeller and all these things. Because for the very first time in SA, these guys, or Nota, Questa, Casper, aka Tear Gas, they were the ones that got big money. You know, Double HP was also one of the pioneers of big money in hip-hop. So we are going through the era of what happened in Rockefeller after all those wins. We are about to see dynasties split.
And it's so painful because I remember a time when people weren't giving Questa the time of day.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've been a fan of Questa since Shapfere, like way back, way back, like. And it was also very heartbreaking for me to kind of see when people weren't really giving him a shine because I was like, yo, man, but this guy's talented. Nota was there 110% of the time pushing and making sure that people heard of Questa, know of Questa. Questa was obviously pushing the envelope with his music. So yes, he does have that
fought for him.
experience because he's fought for Questa. But now my thing comes back into the thing of, yes, you've worked with one of the greatest artists we have in South Africa, but it doesn't also then give you that pedestal to then dictate to everybody else what their brand and direction is. Because you don't know what TD's planning for Casper. Do you know what I mean? We don't know what Colin's got in the books for Nasty. We don't know do you understand? So there's all those things that come into play where it's like, you have an opinion, but it doesn't mean that people need to listen to you. And it doesn't mean
Or agree with you.
agree with you. And I think that's kind of where this is coming from a good place. I'm hoping, because you know he's an avid watcher of the POPcast, so we'll see him in the comments anyway. This is coming from a good place, and I think he's heard this from a couple of people this week. Whatever's going on, so much so that you and Questa have parted ways, needs to be dealt with at the root of the issue, and not be other people must be targets because you're in a bad space of dealing with whatever's the problem. Let's get to the root of the issue and then, you know, come back to the culture because everything else is being affected.
But he's also got a 9 to 5. He's working for something else, right? He's in a job somewhere, right?
He's working for a company at the moment. He's the head of that company. And it's also
That's
important
amazing.
as well for him to understand that, yes, you're relaying your information, you're relaying your knowledge.
But you are representing a company.
But you're representing other people. Let's
You know?
You know,
find the way.
I think it happens to everyone, Morafi. You know, it does come a change where you have to change the people you probably work with. You know, you have to change your producers. You know, it happens the whole time. And I think maybe for them with their relationship, I think it's probably saying they're growing up. You know? Maybe it's not as bad as we may see it. You
Yes,
know what I
you're
mean?
right,
But
actually.
maybe as brother to brother, within a month they'll call each other and say, "Dog, I love you, my nigga."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I
It's one of
pray
those,
that actually they
you know?
don't part ways, that they actually resolve issues.
Yeah.
I really do pray that, because I know that there's so much we can learn as South African hip hop if they keep working as a team. But obviously, if they can't, I'm also down for that, you know?
And Noto's not a Grootman, by the way.
He's not- he's what?
He is a Grootman, but he's 29.
He's
Come
30.
on.
He's
Oh,
a good
30.
man. He's a
Oh,
good
they
man.
must just stop saying he's old
30.
ass. You know, his kids.
Hey, these kids don't worry about
But
these
you must
kids.
remember, when you're still in your early 20s, you think 30 is far away.
Yeah.
Until you hit 30, then you're like, "Mfethu, when did I get here?"
And now we gotta seal it, right?
Yeah, we're going to close it off.
We didn't tell the people that it was our...
Our season finale.
Yeah.
It is a season finale for the POPcast, obviously. We just want to re-energize and come back into fixing the things and the plans that we have as POPcast.
So we're breaking up, ne?
No, we're not breaking
we're
up.
not breaking
Don't worry,
up.
nobody's leaving.
We're just taking a break from one another.
But nonetheless, we do think it has been a great season. Shout out to Speedy again, because he has been a very intricate part of season 2.
Yeah.
So we don't want to take it lightly, and the contribution he's put to the show. But yeah, we're not going to be gone for too long, so don't cry. We'll be back in September. We just need to,
Revamp,
we just need to breathe.
energize.
Don't
2
cry
weeks.
for me, Argentina. The truth is I never left you.
Ooh, can you hear the vibrato?
Silent.
You in the choir, ne? I can hear you.
So,
Scoop is acting like he wasn't in
I
the
sing
choir
in the
at school.
shower hard. Like my girl always tells me, like, she's like, shut up. Like you're always singing. And loudly too. You know, everything has like I relate to songs.
Yeah.
Either R&B or hip hop. I'm always rapping with
I
singing.
just want to give shout outs to DJ Dimples for
Yeah.
believing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also investing his time and money into this shit.
For sure.
Shout outs to DZ.
Yes,
Easy
sir.
for his time, because we always put him under
editing,
pressure.
You know,
Yo,
BB,
go on.
you know, for always just scooping up for us. Lutando as well, you know. Shout outs to everyone in the podcast. Shout outs to TK. Shout outs to Malifi. And shout outs to everyone. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Even you guys in the comments and the people that watch the show. We really appreciate that, by the way. Like, we've built such a cult following, and we got more and more nice things coming from you for you guys. But really, thank you for your support, and we definitely want to give you more.
Yes.
Popcasters, ne?
Yeah.
And Nina, we're not leaving.
No,
I've seen them say,
no.
Nina, or you, or
No,
him
we
must
call them
leave.
the pop stars.
Pop stars. Oh, pop stars. We're
The
leaving you
Popstars.
guys.
Don't worry, we're not leaving.
Yeah.
We're just taking a break. We're re-energizing. We will be back.
There's VG's son, call it Daddy. You gotta be gone.
So that means we
Duty
gotta
calls.
go. Thank you so much. Keep on subscribing and
shots.
keep watching.
Shots?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let's get shots.
Just a closing.
Just to close it
shot.
off, right?
Yes, sir.
Dimples, you come through and have one with us.
Dimples needs to join us in the
Dimples,
lens
come
for
through.
once.
Come through.
Yes, Dimples. Why so?
Just one.
What you guys need to do, you guys need to tweet him after this episode and say we want you in an episode just once. 'Cause Dimples is always on
Thank you, son.
Twitter.
So everybody's gonna have a shot, no?
Yeah.
So can everybody get a shot and come on to camera, please?
Yeah, come on, please, guys. Come on.
That's how
Let us
television
see.
does it, guys. We
Yeah.
gotta upgrade our shit.
Come on. And yo, the brand knows themselves. Season 3 is still a sponsor.
Yeah,
We've been
so
bleeding.
we'll have to talk to them.
We've been bleeding.
Gentlemen, everybody's got a shot. Oh, Dimples is coming. Oh,
Melissa, come
shit.
I guess you guys didn't know there were so many people on the show.
This is Deezy. This is Deezy that we're always shouting at.
Yeah. Cheers up.
Cheers, guys, to the
To the
Popcast.
Popcast and the pop
And the
stars.
And the
Popstars.
Popstars.
Cheers, 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 guys, cheers.
Much love, my nigga.
Yeah.
Smongile kodwa and cut.